Okay, welcome to my rural world. Aren't you lucky? Today we are hauling logs for a couple building projects. I'm going to build a new shed, and we got to haul some logs in, 6 of them, that are range from 10 to 14 feet, and that's what we're going to do now. So let's just get started. This wood shed is going to take a lot of physical effort, and I'm not exactly sure if this is the way to go. Here's one of our logs we have to harvest. I'm thinking that it would be better, instead of coming this way, to come through this way. Maybe not. Either way you look at it, it sucks. I'm already tired of this shed. Okay, I got the trail through. I actually found a better way, but there's so much down stuff, one of it's right there, that I want to use for, like, the roof poles. I don't want to cut them up, and I don't want to move them twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those out later and start using it right now. I'm just going to use this one because I want to get this job done so I can do other things today. Okay, here are the logs we drug in just the other day. These are going to be the uprights for the structure, which is going to go right back in there. So I have to dig my first hole and get a post in. That way I can square it up. I'll show you how I'm going to do that so that we have a building, a storage shed that's not all kittywampus. So we're going to switch into some work clothes here, and we're going to start digging our first hole here. Okay, I have 2 holes dug, one there, and I have temporary posts put in. Those are not the posts that are going to be going in there, because the ones that are going in have to be peeled and sealed. There you go, it rhymes. The reason I'm doing the holes first, even though I don't have the logs ready, is because we're supposed to get a cold spell, and if the ground freezes, I won't be digging any holes. It's just too much of a pain in the butt. So I want to get the holes dug and everything laid out, and then I can just work on my leisure. I can work in the snow. I can work on anything. So that's what we're doing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to straighten these poles up, these logs, and square them up, and then we're going to determine where in the middle our center post has to go, because that's going to be the ridge. That's going to be the peak of the roof, up like that. Okay, so we need to really straighten those up, get a good measurement. It's 6 feet inside to inside, roughly, which is about what I was expecting, and I'm probably going to go 8 feet that way. Okay, at least. I've got everything pretty much squared up as far as the first post on this far end. Now what I did was I marked a mark right on it, right there, and over to the corner here. That measures 3 feet. We go up this line, measure 5 feet. Where'd it go? There it is right there. Or I'm sorry, 4 feet. 4 feet right there. And then the distance between that mark and that mark has to be 5 feet, and it is indeed 5 feet. The distance from the corner to this here metal rod, it's not a rod, it's angle iron actually, that right there is 10 feet. And for the roofing material I have, that's about as far as I can manage if I want a foot or so overhang, foot to 8 inches overhang on either end. So we're going to dig our first post right there, and then we're going to measure again and then put our other posts in over there. Just like that. Okay, all the holes are dug, the temporary posts are in. I squared up the far end using the front end as a guide, so that's all good. I need to run to the creek to get some sand and gravel to use as backfill, and I won't do that today. It's already too late in the day, so I'll do that tomorrow morning. We're supposed to get a cold front in, so I want to get the real posts in the ground. I got to peel those, treat the bases, and then put them in the ground and backfill them and level them all up and all that other stuff. That's the next step, but we're going to do that tomorrow. Okay, I got 7 loads of sand and gravel hauled from the creek. I hauled it up on that pack frame. That was this last load and the smallest load, but I filled every container I could find because I don't know how much it's going to take. I'm sure I'm going to have to make more trips. In the meantime, I've decided that I'm going to add a middle post on either side wall. So that means I have to dig more holes, and I have to go out and collect two more poles to use as posts. but that's just the way it goes. Anyway, we're going to knock off for today and start again probably tomorrow morning. Okay, gangoids, it is, I think it's October 21st. It's 20 degrees out or so. It's about 9:30 in the morning. And we're going to be taking this here device. This is a draw knife. Some of you would refer to it as a log peeler. Most of you know it's a draw knife. And I'm sitting on the pile of logs we drug in the other day, and we're going to be using this device to peel all the bark off them. Then we're going to treat the base of the posts and get them stuck in the ground. We're not going to probably get anything much more done than just getting these debarked and treated today. I don't think we're going to get them into the ground, but we'll do what we can. I got to go get a work jacket on. This fleece is not going to get destroyed by doing this manual labor kind of stuff. So I'm going to go change, and then we'll get right on to peeling the bark off these trees. Now, using a draw knife is not my favorite thing in the world, especially with trees that are frozen like this. It rained all summer, and the bark is wet. Now the temperature is in the 20s, and now it's frozen, which makes it a bit more of a challenge. One thing I'd recommend is not worrying too much about the knots like this. Try to choose a tree that doesn't have any more branches on it than you can find. It. They're not all created equally. Some are very branchy and some aren't. Look for the ones that aren't. But when you run into them, I don't worry too much about them. I take those down with a chainsaw. I'm not going to fight those knots too hard, because it just slows you down and wears you out. And I'll show you how I do that later. I got this one to do and this one to do, and I tell you, I'm pretty tuckered out. I already did 4, and I'm probably going to just do the rest tomorrow after I get this one done, because I still have to go out and get 2 more of these. I have decided, so if I'm going to do 2 more, I might as well do 3, right? Now, normally these would go a lot easier, but let's say, I don't know if you can see it, but this stuff is obviously all iced up and not fun at all. But there's no way around it. Okay, yesterday I treated all the real actual posts, and they're behind us. You might be able to see the temporary posts I put in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take those posts out. I'm going to tamp down the bottom of the hole to make them as flat as possible, and then start filling with gravel. I'm going to put about 2 or 3 inches in to give a good base, and then I'm going to put the real posts in and start backfilling them. Hopefully, the temperature right now is in the teens, the mid-teens, and my gravel might actually be frozen because it was so saturated with water. I might have to actually take it inside and thaw it out. Only one way to find out, but let's get started. Okay, first pole is going in. I got the base in, and I'm just going to start slowly but surely filling it. The important thing to do is get up often and check and make sure that your pole here is as straight as possible, because once it gets backfilled, you're pretty much done. It's not as important on a smaller project like that milling station, but for something like this, you don't want it to look all kittywampus. So we're going to start backfilling this, and that's it. We're going to do 5 today. That's all I've got prepped and peeled. So we'll do 5 today and then start peeling again. So that's it. Let's get started. Okay, and as you backfill it, you know, wiggle waggle it like so. And this is pretty much done. Settling for now. You can see it collapsing in a little bit. You want to do that while maintaining it as straight as possible, which is really tough to do with a log because there's nothing straight on them. Even the straight ones aren't straight. Okay, here's all of our posts. We have our ridge posts. We're going to leave those alone for now. I have to determine which one of these posts is the shortest one, and it looks like this one right there, the last one I put in, is the shortest one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a timber and tack it up on that center post and draw a level across. I'm going to put a level on it, and we're going to level it the same way we did the milling stand. And I'm just going to go from the center one, level up the board, mark it, and then cut it with a chainsaw, and do the same thing to this side over here, measuring from side to side so that they're the same height. In other words, I'm going to take a 1x6 or 1x4 and go from here. Once I get it, once everything is cut on this side, I'm going to go across and mark it so that way it's level across that way, and then that way I can just run my 2x4, 2x6, or whatever I decide to use this way, mark it, and then cut all those, and then we'll be done with that. Then I have to decide out what my pitch is going to be on this one here, because these are our ridge posts, and I think this one here is our shortest one. I can't really tell from this vantage point, but we'll mark them and cut them, and then we will start peeling logs for our eave and our ridge logs. Okay, I just realized that I don't have any prepared boards that are long enough to span the entire length of the building, so I'm going to have to just do it in chunks. But this is what I did. That is, in fact, the shortest post. So I'm going over to this post here. I leveled it, marked it. I'm going to do this all the way around, and I will be able to cut those off with the chainsaw, and call her good. And I don't know if I'll do the ridge posts today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, well, as you can see, it's raining. I did manage to get the roof on as well this summer, along with all the other stuff I had to do. But this video is already getting kind of long. It's like 15 minutes or so already, and I don't want you to have to put up with more than that of me at any one sitting. So we're going to make this at least a two-parter, and I'll get to work on the rest of it and maybe get that posted in like a week or two. But we're going to call our quits on this portion of the video, and I'm going to go back inside and have a strong cup of coffee. And speaking of coffee, I'd really appreciate it if you'd go check out my online store. Just scroll on down in the description area. You'll see the link to it. It's a little Printify store. It's got my signature mug there. I got a lot of other stuff for sale too, but if you'd go and purchase my signature mug, and I would really appreciate it. I know times are tough, but we got to have our coffee, right? And why not drink your coffee out of my mug? I'm probably going to regret saying that, but anyway, we'll see you on the next one.